The scene opens with Gary and Wyatt, two classic nerds, starting their day by admiring the girls' practice as if they were naturalists observing rare species. While they speculate about showers and parties with the girls, Ian and Max, the school bullies, overhear everything and, of course, don't miss the chance to embarrass them. Pants down, dignity on the floor. When Wyatt tries to apologize, Gary, already used to the bullying, covers his friend's mouth and drags him away. Clearly, this wasn't going to be an ordinary day for them. And this is where things start to get weird science. Back home, with Gary shaving and Wyatt lying on the bed watching Frankenstein, a brilliant idea comes up. What if we made a girl? Wyatt, a bit more grounded in reality, thinks it's a joke. But nope. Gary is dead serious like a mad scientist. The two decide to create the perfect woman using Wyatt's computer, which nearly explodes from all the processing. The final touch was missing, electrodes on the doll, clothes on their heads, because that makes total sense, and the magic happens. Lightning, storms, and ta-da! A stunning woman steps out of the bathroom. They hide under the table like they've summoned a monster, but it's just Lisa, their experiment, ready to have fun and, of course, take a shower. After the initial shock, Lisa takes the guys to a party, and the scene feels like Harry Potter mixed with adventures in babysitting. While Gary cracks jokes and Wyatt tries to act normal, Lisa works her magic, cars appear out of nowhere, clothes change by themselves, and fake IDs pop up with a snap of her fingers. At the bar, a now drunk Gary finds out he has more friends than he ever imagined. He even tells a joke that makes the bruisers at the table laugh. Fun fact, the original 1985 movie was directed by John Hughes, the master of teen movies, and was based on a comic book called Made of the Future. That explains a lot. Now, let's talk about what I wouldn't do. Hacking into a government system to create a virtual woman seems a bit over the top, even for 80s nerds. And I would have run in the opposite direction when the doll started coming to life. An interesting point here is how the boys, initially shy and insecure, gain confidence with Lisa around, but in a totally wild and reckless way. Her ability to alter reality and people's memories is a curious touch that just makes the story even crazier. So, if you could create anything using a computer, what would you create? Leave it in the comments, I'm curious to know. Continuing with the movie, while Wyatt's in the bathroom, stomach in knots, Gary, being the good friend he is, stays by his side, both discussing how they always dreamed of going to a big party but, of course, their courage went down the drain. Downstairs, Ian and Max spot Lisa and, wasting no time, start flirting with her again. They follow her to the balcony, where she casually reveals that she'd only hook up with them if Wyatt and Gary gave their blessing. Meanwhile, Deb and Hilly, impressed by the party, make their way to the bathroom, where Gary tries to cover up the bad smell. The girls knock on the door, and in a moment of desperation, Gary shuts it in their faces. But eventually, the situation cools down, and everyone exchanges greetings, with the guys, of course, still hiding in the shower. The conversation about finally getting their chance with the girls is interrupted when, upon peeking out again, they notice that other girls have taken their place. As Deb and Hilly continue exploring the party, Lisa stops them and, in a totally not weird way, suggests they shower with Gary and Wyatt, because it would be a unique experience. In another random scene, Wyatt's grandparents are having dinner and decide to check on their grandson, worried he might be lonely. The chaos begins when Ian and Max apologize for the mall incident, and the boys, in a rare moment of camaraderie, accept the apology but refuse to lend out Lisa. Still, they decide to make another girl, because that always works out, right? But when they hit enter, chaos erupts, and the house turns into a disaster zone. A guy gets stuck in the TV, and a fireplace starts sucking everything up, including a distracted girl who ends up in the pool. And of course, Lisa appears to tell them they forgot to connect the electrodes to the doll. The madness gets worse when Wyatt's grandparents show up, knocking their hats against the teens like old Western sheriffs. Lisa freezes them and sticks them in a closet, deciding the boys need a confidence test. So, two biker thugs break into the house, and instead of facing them, Gary and Wyatt decide that hiding in the bathroom is the safest plan. When Wyatt suggests they might be acting cowardly, Gary replies, "Yeah, but at least we're alive." Things spiral out of control when the bikers take Deb and Hilly hostage, forcing the boys to finally act. Gary, in a burst of bravery, grabs a gun and forces the bikers to release the girls, only to realize afterward that the gun was real all along. Imagine the party with that. After all this madness, Lisa says goodbye to the boys, but not before turning Wyatt's annoying brother, Chet, into a gross blob monster, which, let's be honest, was well deserved. At this point, I found it interesting how Lisa not only teaches the boys to have confidence but also shows them that even the biggest bullies have fears, especially when facing a toy gun that magically turns real. I definitely wouldn't have hidden in the bathroom when the biker showed up, but I can't lie, I'd have thought twice before confronting those guys with fake guns. In this movie, the idea of creating the perfect woman on a computer was inspired by the EC Comics series, also called Weird Science. Now, if you had the chance to create a person on a computer, like Wyatt and Gary, what would you do differently? Hope you enjoyed this video, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.
And I gotta tell you, it was perfect.